Thank you guys for checking out Flying Armbar on my channel. This is Brian's channel, right? We're doing the Flying Triangle / Omoplata 2-for-1.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
So it's great. Double the views, double the likes, hopefully.
Hopefully. Don't get hurt doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you saw the first video that we did, Flying Attacks, we talked about how important it is to work safely with a partner. These things are fun to watch and they're fun to be able to do, but you have to do them with the right sort of person, and you need to make sure that you're doing it in a controlled situation, not where you are flying indiscriminately onto somebody who's not suspecting it, okay? And while these sorts of techniques are not like always explicitly banned, but they're still looked upon poorly if you're like just hitting them in randori or hitting them in sparring. You want to be really careful. And also, you want to do what you would normally do with any technique, which is to take the time to learn the technique properly so that your technique is solid, like your mechanics, and then also the elements, all the pieces are there. That's going to help to keep you safe while you're doing it, as safe as you can be. And it's also going to help you to troubleshoot in case things go wrong, which they will do at the beginning, right? So we're going to look at the flying triangle. And when we do the flying triangle is best done when our partner is in a broken posture. Okay, now we're going to practice it today in a little bit more of an upright posture. And the reason is because sometimes if your partner's broken down like this, and we talked about this in the last video, yeah, it's like so easy because they're already hinged at the waist. It's easy for that additional weight to pull them down, and you get crushed underneath, right? You can't always control that under more resistant circumstances, but when you're drilling, you can prevent it, and we do that with an upright posture. Okay, so we're going to start with grips. The gripping for this version of the flying triangle, we're going to start with a cross grip. So when we're here in the cross grip position, I can have my right foot forward or I can have my left foot forward. It doesn't actually matter. Generally speaking, because our goal is to get our hip up to our partner's armpit, it makes a little bit more sense to start with the hip side forward rather than the leg that's going to come over the top forward. Okay, so this is going to allow us to make sure that we get our hips up to the line of our partner's armpit, which is necessary for this attack to work. And actually, even if we're down on the ground, you still want to have that same, you still want to be measuring by that same metric. That's your hips up to your partner's armpit. He's got a long extended arm. That's great. We're going to secure that arm with a tricep grip here, and then our collar hand is going to go here to a cross grip. This is going to help us to control our partner. With the flying triangle, we're going to have to use two complementary actions. One is the act of physically raising and lifting our hips up to the armpit. The other is securing our partner's posture so that we pull them to us. So one is a pull down, the other is a rising of the hips up. So those two things are going to happen, okay? Now, when we're ready to go, we're going to focus on, again, our hips coming up. We're going to leave the floor, and one thing that we do want to watch out for, that I see people do a lot when they're trying to do the flying triangle, is having their hips come up and their head come down. So they kind of, almost like they're trying to throw their back on the floor. We want to avoid that, even if at the beginning it's just kind of in your mind what you're thinking about, so that you don't do something like this, where you kind of throw your body up and you just kind of end up like smashing your back on the floor. Yeah. The idea is that the person that you're working with is strong enough to be able to hold you up and support you, so they're either bigger than you or your own weight, or can deadlift literally 1,000 pounds. That always helps. And then your consciousness is your head up, okay? So we get our grips, we're going to bring our hips forward, and then I want to have my hips rising up rather than my head falling down towards the floor. Once we're here and we have our ankles crossed, we're in a position where we can make our adjustments. We'll draw our partner's head down, we'll reach up and we'll lock, and then we'll finish the triangle from the ground position. It's possible to lock a full senkaku from this flying position, but it's much less likely that you'll be able to do that. Okay, it's much easier to lock what we call a trap triangle, where your feet are crossed initially, than it is to try to lock the full triangle. Right, so let's try to do it from the other angle. So we're in position, tricep, collar, hip side forward, we give a little pull, and then as he rises, we rise here, and we catch. Now we make our adjustment. We're ready to scoop turn, ratchet our legs down, and we lock the triangle like so. So we can do the same thing if we feel like we're losing our partner's head, like we're losing the posture. We can use this entry to transition into the flying omoplata. Okay? So this trap triangle at the beginning leads us into the same thing. So we have our grips, we're ready to go. We fly and we feel like we're losing the head. We take a V grip on the wrist, we pose, and we pass our leg across as a cross face. Now from here we adjust. We want to make sure our legs are heavy, so we straighten our legs, extend them, and now from here we can come up and you can begin attacking the flying omoplata. So actually what's flying is the entry, the adjustment on the ground, or kind of in the transition, is the thing that turns it into omoplata. Do you want to do one more of those? Or
yeah, we can do one more of those. Just a quick note too, like if the person catches your leg in the air, right, that could eventually happen.
Yeah.
So if you snap me down, right,
Right.
like my hands sort of go to the ground, and as I'm posturing up, that's a nice time to clear the arm and the leg, right?
Yes, like so as we're here, as you're coming up to do it now, 100%.
As opposed to like if I'm completely here, it's like...
If he's here, this is going to be really tough for me.
Yeah.
You know, like we always want, as we do both in judo and jiu-jitsu, we like to use kazushi off balance and then feinting to get our partner, to get our partner out of position. Right now, he might be tense and ready for anything.
Yeah.
So like a little movement here now is going to make the position a lot easier to set up. Okay? So we'll keep our partner moving here. We're ready. We bring them down. We straighten them up. We come up. Now from here, we pass the leg. We're ready to control with stiff legs, keeping the arm out to the side. From here, we're adjusting our body up, and we're ready to rock for the full omoplata. So you actually kind of have both of these sister techniques, just as you do on the ground. You have them standing up, and you can have a good entry to both of them.
Sounds like you did another one that was awesome.
Yeah.
And you broke my posture and I put my hands down to the ground.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's go with that one.
Okay.
It's a bonus one.
Yeah,
It's a
great.
bonus.
Okay, do that right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so along with these two variations, which are kind of have the same entry, we can hit a version of omoplata off of a grip where you have an underhook and I have an overhook.
That's what.
Okay, yeah. So like this might be a case where I've lost this battle here. I've lost the underhook overhook battle. I wanted the underhook, but I end up with the overhook. From here, we'll use an uchimata to be able to set up and kind of get our partner down here so the hand touches the mat. Now from here, we can put our own hand on the mat and we can bring our 2 feet together. We pass our arm across so it doesn't get in the way, and then from here, we can simply swing into position, pass our leg around the corner, and we have another good entry. If he's still standing, we'll hold the belt, plant our foot, extend, and sit up, and now we're in on our omoplata from this seatbelt versus whizzer type of position. Okay, so one more time. So we miss the grip here. We're going to wrap as an overhook. We're going to turn our body and we hit this uchimata that's designed to get our partner's hand to the floor. Let's rotate slightly, please. Our hand goes to the floor too for support. We go foot to foot and then we bring our body, as our hand transfers, we bring our body up into this position. We pass our inside leg out, we extend. If we see the knee up still, we'll hold the belt, even if not. Now we'll extend, post, begin the action of penduluming to sit up, and move our body out into this position where we're ready to attack for omoplata. So these are both these variations for omoplata plus the flying triangle. Very helpful for people who are looking to expand their jiu-jitsu and judo and bring them together.
Oh, we're going to do that too, right?
Yeah. Our concept is a collaboration. It's going to be called Bridging the Gap, and we're looking forward to building that and then sharing with everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Beautiful.